Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Bompas, in charge of marketing and communication at Le New Black. And I'm today with Paul MIZRAKI, our sales manager. So we are very happy to have you all here for this new webinar. Many of you have come today to learn more about the Selects experience with Le New Black. The Selects is a multi-label Korean agency, and our client is December 2020. So I hope that this session will be rewarding and informative for you, your brands, and all your teams. So the webinar will last around 30 minutes. We will have then 15 minutes dedicated for questions at the end of the webinar. So don't hesitate to send your questions in the chat box while the session progresses, and we will answer them at the end of the webinar. So I'm very glad today to welcome Sujin PYUN as our guest for this webinar. So Sujin, if you want to turn on the camera so we can say hi.
Hi guys, I would love to turn on my camera, but I cannot right now. Could you give us a set to turn the camera, please, Paul?
Sure.
I do not, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Hello, everybody. This is Sujin from the Select Showroom. Nice to be meeting you guys, and thank you very much for your time today. I'm currently based in Paris, and I'm in charge of global wholesales of the Selects. I have worked as a wholesale agent for young emerging brands and also big luxury brands such as Saint Laurent and Maison Margiela previously.
So let's start with the beginning. Sujin, can you introduce the Selects?
So the Selects is a collaborative project to promote Korean fashion emerging and talented designers and brands into the global fashion market and expand their business overseas. There are Suzy Annie, Inc., II, Wunderkammer, Han Kim, Nil, and the Studio K, User, and Veriso. And our team in Korea have regular meetings with brands to discuss the design and the direction of the season. And also we communicate by Korean WhatsApp called KakaoTalk on a day-to-day basis. So thanks to the constant communication with brands, we could not only present the collection and sell the collection to buyers, but also organize a pop-up events to directly introduce new products to the final customers.
Yes, indeed. At Le New Black, we noticed a good dynamic in Korea for brands, agency, and customers. I know that you are working with and on different markets to expand internationally. Maybe could you provide the audience with some insights on the current state of US and Korean markets?
Yeah. So we are cooperating with retailers such as Essence, Moda Operandi, Galleria, Printemps, Bundesschau, and Joyce and Restier, and many more. From our point of view, there are still lots of countries closed due to the COVID-19. But what we feel and what we saw from the previous season, certainly the USA market is getting reactive again. The total sales in America increased 241% compared to FW21 season for us, which is great. We expect that there will be lots of movements and travels in January and March as many people miss the communication in person and the physical experience like seeing the collection in real. We are very looking forward to it. To speak about Korea nowadays, if it's a high-end luxury brand or smaller or accessible brands in terms of brand scale and product price point, there are lots of pop-up events to attract customers and people's attentions. There are lots of celebrities and influencers, including VIP clients coming to this kind of events. And since there are so many pop-up events, brands are trying to specialize it. And thanks to that, customers can have the joy of retail experience. Yeah.
Thank you, Sujin. This is always very interesting to have concrete feedbacks, experience from our clients. I see in our panel of participants today that some of you might already know us. For those who don't, I will just take a few minutes to give you an overview of Le New Black, our platform. So Le New Black is a sales management platform for creative industries and the French pioneer fully dedicated to wholesale since 2009. Le New Black offers three components, the first being B2B e-commerce showroom, allowing brands to present to the retailers first the DNA and storytelling of the brands, then their collection, and finally the product. As an agency or distributor level, we have developed a global interface to gather the represented brands as an umbrella-like structure to oversee and monitor several brand showrooms. We also provide to our clients an iPad application for order taking, allowing them to place orders directly at the physical trade shows and showrooms. Finally, we have a back office management system. So Le New Black allows brands to have a detailed overview of their showroom activity. There will also be an access dedicated for sales and audience reports and manage, of course, their sales teams. We are currently working with more than 400 clients, including 20 agencies and institutions from different markets, such as ready-to-wear, accessories, jewelry from Europe to Asia and the US. Finally, we choose to share the experience of The Select today, since it's a perfect example of an agency that needed to streamline its order-taking process and found ways to do so successfully. Sujin's team had completely embraced the platform since we started working together a year ago. Note that everyone knows who is The Select and what Le New Black is. I will detail how we started collaborating together in December 2020. So Sujin, what were your expectations at the time?
So as Paul mentioned, we joined Le New Black in December 2020 with COVID-19 outbreak. During the pandemic period, it was certainly difficult to manage the business. However, thanks to the digital showroom, we could make a choice and focus by reaching specific reactive clients. Since we are not only doing B2B wholesale business, but also providing retail services and PR services, an existence of a digital showroom was and is very necessary. It is a platform that we use to present the brand and the new collection, but also we can make our database and control after the order taking process. The New Black was the most simple platform that I have used, especially for the back office, which normally takes up the time most. So there you go. We had no hesitation to invest for that for a better investment. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you have used several platforms in the past. What made you choose us?
Well, the price of a service was one of the most attractive points. But again, I find Le New Black is the most convenient platform for back office task. And also it is very simple for everybody to access the showroom and check the collection and place an order, almost like online shopping in online store. We do have lots of clients who connect to our digital showroom and submit their order by themselves after receiving an internal invitation that we can send from Le New Black. So it means it got very easy for us. Yeah.
Great. Now I think it's time to present to everyone the fruit of our collaboration. So enough theory, and let's go down to the business.
Yeah, so just before the beginning of the season means right after the prospection, each brands are completing their digital showroom based on the seasonal concept and target. After that, from the agency side, we are checking the customers and adding the new potential customers and reviewing the price list of customers and making a complete invitation from the agency side and also the individual invitations per brands from brand side. So for all the process, indeed, there are lots of people working to make the showroom and invitation nicely, of course, and it certainly affects the sales of the season. Yeah.
As you can see, the aesthetic and simplicity of the showroom is key. I will explain you how, from an operational point of view, it all works. So, working with more than 400 brands worldwide, we are able to provide best practices on how to run remote sales meetings during an unprecedented period, this last 18 months. Once you have set up and complete your showroom, the first step will always be to invite your network to connect. You have two levels of connection. The first being the agency level, if you want to invite all your customers to the agency, or directly to a specific brands, if you want to be specific, of course, for brands. You're able to invite existing clients, but also prospects or many people that might be interested by your showroom. Some brands like to accompany their client in a Zoom meeting to present the brands or the new collections. This type of walkthrough applies especially for new clients or key accounts. In addition to the display, you can send pre-selections to retailers to guarantee a selection that meets your expectations. Then, like a typical e-commerce platform, your client will be able to start the selection and place an order directly online. As brand managers, you will receive pending orders from buyers that you will need to confirm. The brands always have the last word on the possibility to confirm or edit any orders. Finally, the different reports, such as audience or sales reports, which allows you to analyze all your actions and the results of your sales in the showroom. Sujin, is it how you have been working on your side since COVID-19 started?
Well, the prospection and follower process have been usually done remotely. The only thing that make buyers fly to another continent is to see the garments and samples and to feel the mood of the collection and the brand better. Well, I'm not saying a digital showroom could satisfy the physical showroom experience 100%, though sometimes like several clear photos and videos such as 360 videos are better than a video call in low resolution, definitely. Therefore, it's a win-win for retailers and brands and agencies since everybody can save time and it facilitates the process. Furthermore, the new Black allows the client check the collection and customize a currency based on certain trade terms automatically. And we all know that it saves a lot of times as an agency and a brand. So after 1,100 remote where the platform was essential, the new Black stayed a great complement to physical sales event we attended for Spring Summer 22. The return of the physical showrooms, shows, and trade shows created a hybrid experience for our buyers, to all of the buyers that benefit from both physical and the digital world. So to speak about the second hybrid sales season, which is Spring Summer 22, well, we had to be efficient. We had to work on our digital showroom and physical showroom both, and we had to know how we were going to use both showrooms for which circumstances. For the Spring Summer 22, we had our physical showroom in Seoul, and we opened the digital showroom with the New York Fashion Week schedule. So we wanted to give simply buyers enough time and give us enough time to invite buyers to our digital showroom or a virtual meeting. So for 2.5 weeks, we had retailers already submitted their orders directly on our digital showroom. Also, we had retailers who checked the digital showroom but would like to see certain products or looks via a Zoom call. In conclusion, we could satisfy buyers by providing all the information that they need. Also, during the physical showroom, we made selections and orders with the new Black application on iPad like other big brands usually do. So it facilitated the whole process, yeah.
I'm delighted that you could share your experience with our audience. I'm pretty sure this is inspiring for everyone. This is definitely this type of use case that we want and try to highlight. Before we finish, I would like to address one last very important topic, the support. I know you have been working closely with our customer success team to prepare and manage and of course set up your digital showroom all year long. In what ways did this help you adopt, say, the platform?
Sure. So to speak about the communication structure and the building process of the Select and the new Black, So there is a dedicated Le New Black account manager, and I am in communication with team U10, and the brand is communicating with me. Since there are 9 brands, there are certain common questions or requests about Le New Black, and they're communicated with me. So Le New Black account manager doesn't need to reply for all the duplicated questions, but he helps me a lot with some small technical issues. And brands are more convenient to communicate with me since we use the same language. With the new with the new Black account manager, usually we communicate by email. And I'm very sorry, but sometimes just before the opening of the digital showroom, I even text him by WhatsApp during the weekend as well. But he's always very responsive by email, text, and phone. Yeah.
Thank you. So now let's speak about the future. What's your ambition for the Select? Do you have any new projects that you can share with us?
Well, there are lots of new products upcoming, but I just wanted to impress about the Select project. So the Select is a collaboration between the Korean government and Future Society Show. We would like to constantly introduce great Korean brands to the international market and develop them on a long-term basis. So for example, the whole team, including me, is coming to New York in February and all the team Paris in March. So we are very, very excited to meet all the people again and show our brands to everybody in real. So I hope we could have back the joy and business of the physical fashion week. Yeah.
So I hope that the great success story of the Select will inspire you to create your own showroom with us at Le New Black. Now I will, Julie, conclude and finish this webinar.
Sure. Thank you, Sujin and Paul, for this great talk. I think you share very interesting insight to our audience. And so I think we have covered everything that we wanted to share today. So I suggest we can move on to the Q&A session. I'll just check if we already have some questions. So I already have one question. Please don't hesitate to send your questions in the Q&A chat. So I have a question for you, Sujin. So do you only sell your collections on pre-orders or do you do reorders?
So we do only pre-orders, but sometimes, yeah, like when for the brand side, you can choose to open certain collections. So for example, there are pre-collection and main collection. And if we have some stocks that we would like to open for wholesale department as well, we make the pre-collection available for order and buyers can see the order. So in this case, it's like reorder or is for the order with the stocks. But usually we do only pre-orders. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have another question for Paul. What are your prices? So we have different prices.
Yeah, of course, we have different prices. So at the agency level, it starts with a minimum of 3 brands and the cost is 6,000 euro per year. Of course, it will be different depending on the numbers of brands that you want to add to your agency. Up to 5 brands, so it will be 10,000 euros per year and 1,700 per additional brands. Today, the biggest agency we have is an agency with 30 brands. So depending on, again, the numbers of brands you have, the price will.
Thank you. I have another question for Sujin. Are you traveling to Milan?
We would love to. We do not have a plan yet, but since I'm based in Paris, if there are any business inquiries, we could simply fly to Milan. But for the next season, so we have a plan. Well, I'm going to London in a few weeks, 4th, 5th, 6th in December. And the whole team is coming to New York in February and March in Paris, but not unfortunately yet Milan. Yeah.
Soon enough, we hope.
Yeah.
Another question for Paul. Is the platform open to the public?
Only for B2B registered buyers. We often invited brands using digital showrooms powered by Le New Black. So the idea is the brand managers will invite the existing database of clients or prospects. And if you are a buyer that wants to get to a new brand, then you will have to go through the marketplace, and you will need to be registered on our platform.
Thank you, Paul. I have another question for you, Sujin. Where are you going to showcase the Korean brands in Paris in March?
So we are still confirming the exact location, but it would be our great pleasure if you send your email to below email address info@futuresocietyshow.com. We will send you an invitation with the exact dates and the location and the brand list.
Thank you for sharing your contact. I have another questions regarding a virtual showroom. So I heard that virtual showroom is becoming more and more popular among brands. Can you do it at Le New Black?
I think it's for me.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, we have opened what we call the virtual tour. The virtual tour is a 360 experience in physical space, of course. So we will send a team that will do this 360 captation. Today we have different use cases. It might be, of course, showrooms, physical showrooms, but also flagship stores or event productions. And the idea is to have a walkthrough for a buyer in order for them to understand a little bit better the environment of your agency or brand.
Thank you, Paul. I have a question for you, Sujin. Do you aim to have more Korean designers within the select showroom in the coming month?
With the select showroom, so since it's a collaborative project, this is confirmed brand list. But as I said, we could of course welcome other brands for Future Society Show, which is another like main company that we are working. So yeah, again, if you would like to introduce your brands, please contact us to info@futuresocietyshow.com. Yeah.
Thank you, Sujin.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't have any more questions for now. If there is just one last question, I think we have time to take it. If not, well, we can close the webinar. And I really would like to thank you, Sujin, for being our guest today. If any one of you has any questions afterwards, please don't hesitate to reach out to either Sujin at info@futuresociety.com or or to Paul at PMizRaki@lenewblack.com. And I will send you the replay tomorrow, so you can access it whenever you want. And I think that's all for today. So we wish you all a great evening, and thank you again for joining. And we hope to see you soon and to our next webinar as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.